Hi everyone, I'm Ben Volkow and I'm the CEO and founder of Autonomo. And I'm here to talk today about how we help smart cities advance using multi-layered vehicle data. I'm sorry that due to COVID, I cannot be with you in person. I'll try to do my best over video. So cities today are suffering from traffic challenges. And there are many reasons for those traffic challenges. We try to put a few of them here. It's the increasing number of vehicles on the roads, many times more vehicles than the road can digest. It's the poor synchronization of the traffic lights that are not connected to anything. It's unforeseen events that you cannot really plan well around them, like accidents. It's the weather that is out of our control, and we're also living in a world where there are more and more harsh weather conditions. It's the infrastructure that is not connected and not always aligned well with the needs. It's construction that doesn't connect to really the other needs or the traffic flow needs, and it's new trends. New trends like electric vehicles that are traveling around differently, are charging or fueling differently, need to be handled differently. It's new trends like rideshare, again, vehicles that behave slightly different, need to be parked, changing hands all the time, driving differently in the terms of amounts of mileage. All those are affecting traffic and creating issues inside the cities. It creates a gridlock of traffic jams, and which has profound effects. Things like it influences the status of the infrastructure and brings it down because cars are driving more than they need. And of course, driving more than you need also affects the vehicles and wears them down. It has a social and psychological impact, resulting in things like anxiety, stress, road rage. It has financial and productivity issues. We are losing money, we are less productive because we spend more time on the roads in traffic jams instead of doing productive things. It increases pollution and drives carbon dioxide levels. It brings safety down and increases accidents. So a long list of issues we all suffering from as people that live inside those cities. And I want to talk today about how multi-layered vehicle data can help improve urban lives. This data is being gathered from many kinds of vehicles, and actually the more mixed sources you have, the better it is. The data that we collect comes from passengers' vehicles and from trucks and from commercial fleets, and rental vehicles, construction equipment, electric vehicles, and here again, the more the merrier, the more the better, because you can understand different patterns and different drivers and take them all into account, because they're all residents of the city. And the multi-layer approach really improves all those. When we talk about multi-layer, this is data that comes from sensors in the vehicles. The amount of sensors in the vehicles is growing all the time. If in the past we were talking about 4 or 5 parameters on a sunny day that were coming out of the vehicles, it's very common today to talk about 100 different sensors that are collecting and sending data every second or so. And this enables us really to build a multi-layer map for almost every inch on the road in the city. There's a layer for the friction data. There's a layer for construction equipment data, a layer for real-time electric vehicle data, parking-related data, hazard data, road signs data, and of course the old known FCD, floating car data, which is really the very basic ingredients for the data. FCD is not new. It's been in the neighborhood for a couple of years, and cities are already using it today to improve roads. It's very slim data set, usually ignition, location, heading, and speed. And this is really, if we'll see multi-layered data as the cream, I will refer to FCD as the cake. It's the table stakes. And Autonomo collects FCD from about 40 million vehicles, and we serve it to our partners. But FCD, as I said, that's passé. Now we see much more data, much more sensors that can bring much more value. For example, the road sign data. I believe that we have about 2 million cars sending us information from the ADAS cameras around road signs. What kind of signs they are, what's the location, what they are showing now, because sometimes it's digital signage. This is used to handle use cases like maybe there was construction and some of the traffic signs were left. Did they put, maybe you forgot to put them back. Maybe because the construction, someone took out the stop sign and put another sign. Now you need to bring it back. Maybe in the end of construction, you forgot to take the temporary, to take off the temporary sign. Maybe there was an accident and a sign broken, whatever. But we really see that cities today don't have an understanding of what traffic signs they have where. Roads are not tuned and not well managed and not synchronized between the signs. We see a lot of requests for this information that knows to give you a realistic real-time picture of the traffic signs in your city, in your jurisdiction, in real time. You can every morning check what have changed and make sure that nothing haven't changed without your approval. The weather layer. As part of the increase in the amount of sensors in vehicles, we see also more and more sensors related to weather. It could be the temperature outside the car. It could be what's the rain. Is it raining? Is it heavy rain? Is there fog? Is the fog dense? Is there snow or ice or break ice on the road? And this data is being used by our partners in the smart cities and transportation management domains in really to understand better and get ready to the different weather patterns in real time that are affecting the roads. The hazard layer. The hazard layer knows to identify hazards on the road in real time. So you can understand if there's a box that fell from a truck. You can understand where is the box, get notification real time, get even the measurements of the box. So you can make sure that the roads in the city are clean, there's nothing stuck, there's no car that has stopped in the middle of a lane or no box that fell from a truck. Make sure that really roads are clean and ready to handle the traffic flows to make the city efficient. And you get again all this in real time, notification in seconds from the moment the hazards or the object was identified on the road. The parking layer. So our partners are using this data either to understand better the parking patterns in parking lots. What's the amount of cars in and the cars out? Is it now in real time? What is it historically? Maybe you want the last 3 months of this parking lot to understand what happens there at 2 p.m., how many cars are coming in and how many cars are coming out. But we are helping not just with traffic lots. One of the things I'm excited about is curbside parking, using ultrasonic sensors to scan the side of the road and to notify you if there's a free curbside parking spot 300 feet ahead on the left, for example. The EV layer. This is maybe the data that we have the most requests for, everything around electrification. We get information like how many miles the car drove on from the last charge. What's the state of charge now? Is it charging or not? What's the battery status? Is it in 20% or 80%? What's the health of the battery? Our partners are using this data to understand where there are charging stations in the city. And are they malfunctioning or working well? Or to do scoring, which one is fast and which one is slow. to understand the queues. At 2 p.m., what's the typical queue at the charging station A compared to charging station B? And to do simulation for the future, how ICE vehicles are driving, and implicate this information on EV data to understand where you need to deploy more charging stations. So to understand the utilities sector implications, what will be the implication on the power grid, for example. So many use cases around EVs. We love EVs, it's part of the future. It's a green future. It's a future that improves smart cities. And we see really cities jumping on the EV bandwagon and using this data to drive efficiency. The construction layer that gives you information around construction in the city in real time. And something I'm very excited, our latest edition, exclusive data that we have is the friction layer. We are getting it from a number of OEMs. It's information about the road and the road conditions. What's the road friction? What's the road roughness? What's the road score? Where there are potholes in the roads, sewage coverage even in the roads. Today, the way to maintain roads in cities is almost the same way for the last 50, 60 years. Couple of guys driving around on F-150, taking pictures, driving, writing reports. It's not accurate. And many times by the time they finish the report, it takes 2 years and this data is not accurate anymore. Cities can now do it in real time with no delay. They can monitor the roads. They can understand about issues and challenges and problems to the infrastructure in seconds delay and go and get it done, fix it, or at least take it into account into the model. So very, very excited about this friction data that really revolutionizes cities, changes the game, changes the cost and the value paradigm. Very, very unique data set. The data that Autonomo collects is coming from about 40 million cars that we have licensed on our platform. And this is a result of 12 OEM partnerships that we have. It's for example, public that we work with Daimler and with BMW and with Stellantis and with Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi Alliance. And of course, there are a few other OEMs. We are very proud of the partnerships that we build and really position ourselves as the standard in the market when it comes to data, and really pioneering the multi-layered data approach, which says it's not just FCD, it's not just floating car data. You got so many sensors and you can benefit from them. You can drive value out of them. So a bit of numbers about how much data we have, the partnerships, the presence. There should be some roll-ups on the side of the stage where you can scan the QR code and contact us using this for more information, or just email me. Very proud of what we do with data. Love the fact that we are doing good, improving cities, making people's life better using data. And I would love to present in more detail, elaborate, and share some real use cases of what we do out in the field with smart cities. Thank you for the time today and enjoy the rest of the show.